Hello, boys and girls. On Monday, we worked on Chapter 2, Lesson 5, about how the English took over New Amsterdam, and we spoke a lot about Peter Stuyvesant and the changes that he made to the New World. But today, we're going to talk about the same lesson, but Part 2. Okay, this is the second version. So, Social Studies, Chapter 2, Lesson 5, Part 2, English Takeover of New Amsterdam. Okay, so in the first part of the lesson, we spoke a lot about all the wonderful changes that Peter Stuyvesant made to New Amsterdam. We read On the Day Peter Stuyvesant Sailed into Town, which talked about how he cleaned up the city that we know as New York City. Let's review the book first. Now, first remember, Peter Stuyvesant came to town and noticed how dirty the city was. He demanded that the Dutch help clean up the land. The Dutch didn't want to fix the land at first, but because Stuyvesant was such a tough and strong leader, they cleaned up the mess and made new strong buildings in New Amsterdam. Even though Peter Stuyvesant was a strong and effective leader, he wasn't very well liked. He did not give the citizens of New Amsterdam a share of the government. He only wanted 9 people that he chose from his council to advise him. In other words, the Dutch did not have a say in how things were run in New Amsterdam. He also punished people who did not conform to the Dutch church. There wasn't any freedom of religion with Peter Stuyvesant. So in other words, boys and girls, if you wanted to be a different religion, he wouldn't let you. You would get in trouble for that. So he was very, it was basically his way or the highway. He was the one that was in charge. He didn't listen to anybody. It was all about what he wanted. He was very stern and very strict, and a lot of people didn't like that. He was very unpopular with the Dutch people because of his attitude. Even though he did a great job, he cleaned up the land, but that bothered these people. So then there was a war. This is a painting that I found, and there was a war. So basically what this painting shows is that the British came. They came to take over the land, and these are the Dutch people. So I'm going to read what this says. When war broke out between the Dutch and the British, the people of New Amsterdam were ready to welcome British rule. The city was defended by a stone fort and 20 cannons, but when British warships appeared in the harbor in 1664, the people refused to resist the invaders. Stuyvesant was forced to surrender, and New Amsterdam became New York. So look, these are the cannons, the stone forts. It's all here to protect New Amsterdam from the British. But then the people, because they really didn't like Peter Stuyvesant, they wanted a new ruler. They were okay with things changing because they weren't happy with Peter Stuyvesant. Again, even though he did a great job, but it was because of the way he treated them. Okay, so now today what we're going to do is we're going to focus on opinions. We're going to write an opinion about what we just learned today. And when there's an opinion, boys and girls, there are no wrong answers when you write an opinion. You have to say what you think based on the information. So it's your opinion. How do you feel? You decide what your opinion is, and then you're going to explain. So you don't only just say, I like this or I don't like this. You have to say why, give a reason, and I'll show you what I mean. So my question today is, if you were a Dutch citizen, what would you do? Would you keep Peter Stuyvesant as your leader, or would you rather have the British take over? So I wrote a little T-chart here to help you figure out what you would decide. So this would be basically your decision, what you decide, and your reasons. So let's say you wanted to keep Peter Stuyvesant as the leader of New Amsterdam, and you would say, if I were Dutch, I would keep Peter Stuyvesant as my leader because he helped the Dutch make the city into a clean place. Before, it was very dirty and messy. There were animals everywhere roaming the street. He made new strong buildings with the Dutch people of New Amsterdam. So these would be great reasons to keep Peter Stuyvesant as a leader of New Amsterdam. Now, again, that's one opinion. If you didn't like this opinion and you wanted to choose a different opinion, getting rid of Stuyvesant, if you wanted the British to take over, there are reasons for that too. So these are the reasons to get rid of Stuyvesant as the leader of New Amsterdam. Peter Stuyvesant didn't listen to the people of New Amsterdam. Their opinion didn't matter to him. It was all about what he wanted. Also, they would be punished if they didn't become a member of the Dutch church. So there was no religious freedom. You couldn't practice whatever religion you wanted. He wanted it to be his way or the highway, okay? So that would be a second reason. Okay, boys and girls, so now, today what you're going to do on a piece of paper, this is the sentence starter. You're going to write your sentence starter, or take the screenshot from Google Classrooms, and you're going to write, if I were the Dutch citizen of New Amsterdam, I would blank as the leader of New Amsterdam because. So would you keep Stuyvesant as the leader of New Amsterdam? Or would you get rid of the leader? Would you get rid of Stuyvesant as the leader of New Amsterdam? Okay, so let me see what would make sense, because I'm going to try it, and then you guys try it on your own. If I were the Dutch citizen of New Amsterdam, I would, so I'm going to say, sorry, boys and girls, I would keep Stuyvesant. And I'm going to make it red so it stands out so we know. I would keep Stuyvesant as the leader of New Amsterdam. Now, why would I keep him as the leader? I'm not really sure, so I'm going to look at my chart here. This is the keep list. So let me see what I would do. I would keep him because, oh, look, he helped the Dutch make the city into a clean place. Before it was dirty and messy and there were animals everywhere. So over here, I'm going to write, if I were the Dutch citizen of New Amsterdam, I would keep Stuyvesant as the leader of New Amsterdam because Stuyvesant helped clean up New Amsterdam and he helped build new, strong buildings in the city. Okay, let me see how that sounds. Okay, boys and girls? If I were the Dutch citizen of New Amsterdam, I would keep Stuyvesant as the leader of New Amsterdam because Stuyvesant helped clean up New Amsterdam and he helped build new strong buildings in the city. So that is my opinion, okay, boys and girls? If you did not like this opinion, then you could choose the different opinion, getting rid of him. So instead of saying the word keep Stuyvesant, you would write get rid of Stuyvesant as your opinion. Okay, boys and girls, I'm actually going to delete this part, and I want you guys to copy this into your notebooks, and you are going to choose one of your opinions and one of the reasons. Okay, boys and girls, good luck.